Hey there, Four States. This is Luke Taylor. Welcome to another edition of the KNEO Community Connection. And we have on the phone with us Kristin Stremel. She's a organizer for a town hall that's going to be coming up about some important legislation as we're looking ahead at the next legislative session here in Missouri. And so, Kristin Stremel, thank you so much for joining us here on KNEO.
Thank you for having me.
So, I'll just let you kind of take it away. Tell us about this town hall, about a proposed legislation. This town hall is going to be coming up at Missouri Southern State University on November 4th.
Okay. Well, as we may or may not know, if a sexual predator is grooming somebody, we don't have any sort of legislation that protects children against them. You can get perhaps a restraining order, but that's as far as it's going to go, and then they move on to the next person. Grooming is a lot of things, and most people don't know how extensive it is, but it seems like the sexual perpetrators like to take it to a certain point, and then that is what keeps them from getting prosecuted for what they've done, and then they take it to the next level after that. So many of them will spend a long, long time doing these things and then unfortunately get to another point. But a lot of them do a certain amount of things before they're discovered, and then they have to move on to somebody else. So like, say, an adult male would text somebody perhaps 800 times a day to maybe a 15-year-old. Mm-hmm. And keep them up at night saying, well, you have to call me at midnight. That's not illegal, but we know that it's wrong.
Right.
Or make sure you know that you can always come to my house. Here's the way to get in. There are a lot of things, and I don't have a list in front of me, but that is what we're going to discuss at this town hall. A lot of people are not aware of all the things that are constituted as grooming.
Yeah, so there's a lot of these like inappropriate comments that could be made to children and teenagers that, like you said, they wouldn't technically be illegal at this time, but they're the kind of things that we would want to stop adults from saying to kids because of it could lead to so much worse stuff. So I understand why it'd be hard to kind of regulate that. Tell us about this legislation that you all have been putting together that is going to try to address some of these concerns.
So this bill that we are currently writing will address those things. And so that's what our town hall is about, is to discuss what we're putting into it. It is lengthy and it's detailed, but not too detailed. That way we have been working with county prosecutors and judges and attorneys, as well as the Children's Center and places that they see all of this behavior and deal with the kids who are victims of it, and to make sure that we've covered everything, but also not too tight that the defense can get out of it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and so Senator Jill Carter, and she's been here interviewed on the station many times, and so she's going to be present at this town hall and help kind of talk people through how this legislation works, I guess?
Yes, she is going to take questions, and I believe she is going to do most of the talking. We'll have a lot of talking points, but we want to open it up to the public so that they can ask questions. And, perhaps there's something we hadn't thought of. We put a big group together to work this through, but, maybe there's something we don't know. So we want everybody's input. We want to get a lot of support for this.
Right. And so I guess is the hope that at this forthcoming legislative session in 2026 that there would be some legislation that's been refined and it's ready to be presented to the governing bodies up in Jefferson City and let them deliberate over this?
Yes, that is exactly the point.
Yeah.
And it should be pretty quick.
And so if you want to encourage people to show up and not just to be informed on this, but to help you all with just getting the language, I guess, refined and where people can poke holes in it and try to keep it from going forward. So you really are seeking the public's input on this whole thing.
Yes, absolutely, because we don't want to miss a thing. This is too important. There are 2 other states that have legislation on the books, and we looked at those, and they're not real helpful, and there's a lot of things that are missing, and so we think that ours is going to be amazing, and I hope that other states will follow suit based on what we've done.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that too, if any other states had tried this. So, like, it hasn't really got the job done in other states, but is it your hope that Missouri would just become an example that other states would look at us and say, like,
yes,
this is the direction we need to go with this kind of legislation?
Yes, absolutely. We want ours to be the one that everybody wants to copy.
So it's coming up November 4th. It'll be at 6:30 p.m. Tell people where they need to go that night if they want to attend this town hall.
It'll be at Missouri Southern State University at the Mills Anderson Justice Center. It's room 158, and that building is across the street from the main campus. So some people don't know that, but it's on Newman Road, and it'll be in Joplin. And we are excited to see you there.
Okay. All right. Well, that's coming up here real soon. So we hope people will keep that on their calendar if they're able to make it to this event to not just get informed, but to help push it forward in refining the language on that bill. So, hey, we've been speaking today with Kristin Stremel, and we just appreciate your time to let us know about this. And thanks for joining us here on KNEO.
Thank you so much.